Does sound like we do have Matt Cappucci on the phone. He's in Annapolis. Matt, if you can hear me, tell me what you're seeing.
Yeah, so I actually just left Annapolis. There was tree damage all over the place. I pulled up near what looked to be a stadium-type thing there. Was looking west, saw the wall cloud.
Oh, look at that.
I started driving northward. Yeah, you can see the video on screen right there, I imagine. Started driving northward, and very quickly, the funnel touched down, rapidly condensed, tree damage all around, lots of debris in the air, and drivers were unwittingly driving into it. So I tried to pull over, waving at folks.
Watch that pretty closely as we go throughout the next couple days.
You were surveying the damage that was done there?
Yeah, Angie, I'm on West Street right now. In Annapolis, you can see police have blocked off traffic.
Tornado just to my north. Fortunately, I was a little bit farther south of it. I made sure to avoid it, stay in a safe place, pulled the side of the road as best I could, and hopefully let other drivers know they were driving into it. But behind me right now, you can see a sample of some of the damage left behind. This appears commensurate with at least winds to around 100 miles per hour. Around going back north again, and that's when I encountered it pretty much face to face.
This cloud as well. You know, Matt, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, and you know, some people look at you, they say, hey, he's the young guy, he's the new guy.
I crossed the road, and I knew that there had to have been intermittent circulations because leaves were falling from the sky. Anytime you see that, ordinarily that means there's likely circulation on the ground, or at least very close enough that it can pick up whatever is close to the ground on the tree line. So I saw that near Bowie. The winds were very quick. What you're seeing on the left, that video is actually a little bit southeast of Bowie. So as I was driving southeast, I noticed there were 2 to 3 circulations at a time. A very unusual storm coming out of the northwest with 1 hook echo, 2 hook echoes, a 3rd circulation.
Going up and in, but this area right here, that's exactly what we're watching for a potential tornado. Again, just checked radar. Looks like we have winds on. But again, if this mixes down, you could be talking 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. And then the rotation right here, we're not seeing a lot of green, not much in the way of inbound winds, easterly winds heading in to fuel the storm. But still, if something was to pop up, it'd be right in this.
Hey, good evening, gang. The damage is actually pretty intense, as you mentioned. One thing that's really interesting, though, the damage is so very isolated to only very narrow swath, which is how we know it's a tornado. Behind me, for example, just off Stony Brook Drive, you can see the flowers are completely untouched. The lawn decorations are completely untouched. The power is on in this home. And yet we turn just across the street over here, and you can just barely see big trees toppled. Some of these maybe about foot and a half in diameter. Now, how do we know it's a tornado and not a microburst? Well, tornadoes are convergent wind. It's sucking all the air towards the same place. So look on the left. That tree is felled from left to right. This one from right to left. Now, if we can take the video I shot earlier on near Harwood, you'll be able to see this may have been a second tornado that I got video of farther to the south and east. But the reason I show this video is because it shows what we call suction spots, or smaller vortices within a larger parent rotating cloud. And that's why these smaller vortices cause such narrow, isolated damage. And that's why we've seen so much in the way of tree damage, but next to nothing structurally. We take this video from Skyfox earlier on, and you'll be able to see the tree damage is intense, likely in the higher end EF0 to lower end EF1 range. Think about winds, probably I'd say 80 to 90 plus miles per hour in a few locales, but so far we've been very fortunate, no reports of loss of life. There were reports earlier on here off Annapolis Road in Bowie of a shopping center that was severely impacted. Fortunately, that was not the case. That proved an erroneous report, and so far really it's all tree damage. One of the weirder things today, storms actually moved in out of the northwest and then moved south and east, which were not real.
Absolutely right. Yeah, this system does have a history of producing tornadoes, quick spin-ups, and on days like today, you don't have the typical environmental cues. You know, these things are very low-top supercells, so they don't have the big hail, they don't have, you know, the super mean-looking clouds, they don't have a ton of thunder and lightning. Yeah, you'll get some thunder and lightning, but really today's a day with straight-line winds and embedded areas of rotation that can produce tornadoes, and these things can develop very quickly with little warning. So it's good we have this warning out in advance. Right now, we are seeing some rotation tightening between
tornadoes. So when we get a tornado warning, we want to take it very seriously. All right, Matt, I hear you're still on the phone. Perhaps you want to get technical with us and tell us what we're looking at here down near Chancellor and down near Spotsylvania.
Hey there, Tucker. Absolutely right. Yeah, this system does have a history of producing tornadoes, quick spin-ups, and on days like today, you don't have the typical environmental cues. You know, these things are very low-top supercells, so they don't have the big hail, they don't have, you know, the super mean-looking clouds, they don't have a ton of thunder and lightning. Yeah, you'll get some thunder and lightning, but really today's a day with straight-line winds and embedded areas of rotation that can produce tornadoes, and these things can develop very quickly with little warning. So it's good we have this warning out in advance. Right now, we are seeing some rotation tightening between Snell and Spotsylvania Courthouse. Again, moving east-northeast at 35 miles per hour, soon to cross 95 just north of Thornburg, south of Fredericksburg. So if you know folks driving south on 95, tell them to get off the highway in Falmouth or Fredericksburg, park there for a little while, get to a site-built location, just kind of wait 15, 20 minutes for the circulation to pass. Same thing for folks riding north. Get off the highway in like Thornburg, park there for a little while, just wait it out. But again, Spotsylvania Courthouse and Snell under that rotation right now, just crossed 208. Soon to impact looks like 632, Bell's Pleasure 608. A lot of areas in the line. So Dowd Farm Road, Steadfast Trail, Berkshire Lane, East Bridge Way, Deer Run Road, Hickory Ridge Road. If you guys are in that area, you want to be below ground if possible. If not, most interior room on the lowest floor of whatever building you're in and avoiding windows. If you have some extra time, then maybe grab a blanket, a pillow, something to put over your head, because in the event that there is a tornado, which we can't confirm right now, the biggest injury producer and the biggest cause of fatality is usually head injuries. So you want to protect your head from any debris if you're in that area. But again, Burnell Road, Mason Pax Church Road, Ridge Tree Road, and Surrey Road soon to be in line from this potential tornadic circulation. Again, only about 3 or 4 minutes out from impacting the 95 corridor between Fredericksburg and Thornburg. And again, on radar, you can see the bigger picture, this whole line of storms. These are not supercells yet. But one thing I want to point out, and Claire doing a great job driving the radar, look back by Roanoke, Charleston, West Virginia, soon to be in Fairfax. All those areas, that's clearing skies. Now, that means that we've used up the morning juice for thunderstorms. We'll get more storms to brew later on today. And with the shear, the change of wind speed and or direction with height, when the actual cold front comes through, I do think we'll have more rotating supercell thunderstorms this afternoon, mainly between 3 and 7 p.m. So this is one of those days where we have a lengthy, a long duration threat. We have to be in a heightened state of awareness. And school districts out there, something to be cognizant of when you're dismissing students this afternoon. Make sure the bus drivers know what they've got to do if they find themselves with a tornado warning. But again, the immediate concern is near and just east of downtown Spotsylvania Courthouse. It is moving east-northeast at about 35-ish miles per hour. Again, no confirmation of a tornado on the ground or anything like that, but on days like today, you want to treat it seriously. Also, another area of rotation just about, say, 10-ish miles to the south-southeast near Milford and Bowling Green, just another kink in that line. And then farther north, seeing similar issues a little bit northeast of Goldane. So with that, Tucker, we'll pass it back over to you, and I know you have more to report.
I do, Matt. Thank you. You're doing a great job. I want to just kind of back it up here. And earlier this morning, perhaps we can flip it over to the tornado watch and to the flood watch. I just, big picture here. And again, I know we've got a tornado, a non-confirmed tornado on the ground in Spotsylvania County. But we are all, or the majority of us, are under a tornado watch here until 2 o'clock. So I just want to emphasize, again, just because you're not being impacted by a tornado at your house.
Bases, low LCLs, or lifting condensation levels. So even if we don't see super strong rotation within a cloud, it's tough to know what's happening to the ground, but it'd have a much easier time reaching the ground. Now, one thing, if we can pull up base reflectivity right now, I want to talk about is the fact we're seeing a bit of a donut hole on radar, just about 3 or 4 miles west-southwest of Snell, actually approaching downtown right now. Anytime on reflectivity, when we see that donut hole, we call it a bounded weak echo region. That's usually a sign, you can actually see that pretty well right there, usually a sign there's strong upward velocity within a storm that could be commensurate with a tornadic circulation. So if you're in Snell, Blades Corner, Old Trap, Thornburg, you want to seek shelter now, lowest floor of whatever building you're in, and avoiding windows. Mobile home, vehicle outdoors, get to a site-built location and protect yourself from flying debris. And again, the great thing about Fox 5, watch us on the mobile app, watch us online, take us on your mobile device, get to your safe place, and put as many layers between yourself and the outside world as you can. Down the road, soon to impact, it looks like 608, 632, Route 1, and eventually 95 if it heads together. Again, part of 95 is in that tornado warning and actually seeing a bit of a tightening of rotation right now between downtown Snell and Spotsylvania Courthouse. Very soon to cross Route 202 and 208. So it looks like a roads like, for example, Hunter Cove Drive, the Folger Factory, Poe River Drive, Hunter's Lodge Drive, Weeks Lane, Snow Hill Drive. You guys are next in line. Now, what you're seeing seeing right now, the little bend in the line right near Spotsylvania, that bend is that counterclockwise rotation within the storm. We call this a northern bookend vortex. Essentially, there's a squall line, the northern part starts to curve back on itself just a little bit, and that's where we're tracking that potential rotation and potential tornado right there. Again, no indications of anything on the ground right now, but that said, the cloud bases are so low, it'd be very easy for a funnel to snake down. And on days like today, where you have, low cloud bases, you don't want to wait to see or hear it coming. And one other thing I'll mention, earlier on in Bedford County down in south central Virginia or Lynchburg, we did have an EF2 to almost EF3 tornado that touched down, causing major damage, damaging 20 homes, destroying at least 2, with, quote, catastrophic damage reported by the police department. And again, the great thing about Fox 5, watch us on the mobile app, watch us online, take us on your mobile device, get to your safe place, and put as many layers between yourself and the outside world.
Yeah, bottom half of the hour, and we want to get straight to the top story, which is the weather.
Again, this tornado moving through right here. This is the tornado right here, folks. Again, tornado on the ground in Annapolis, Maryland.
That is our Matthew Cappucci, who spotted that tornado in Anne Arundel County a few hours ago. As you can see it there in the distance, it hit Anne Arundel County at approximately about 2:30, and Matthew was describing for us it was probably about 12 minutes long. It made its tracks throughout the area, caused a lot of damage. Tisha.
Pretty incredible to see that video there, and what's even more incredible is to see so many cars on the roadway nearby. Matthew Cappucci braving it all, getting that close to the tornado. I don't know if I've ever seen a tornado up close and personal like that.